but you can hear stuff. Or there's the Hawaiian warriors from like the 1800s that fought for the land. Like back when
humans keep out.
Humans keep out. Wow.
Humans.
That's weird. Why would you put humans? I guess animals are welcome.
I don't know if I've ever seen that before. Humans keep out. The Slums of Hawaii. Sounds like a good clickable title for a YouTube video. Because you're probably as curious to see what these look like as I am. And it was very interesting. Like, this is their, like, how they eat. I don't think they're doing, like, selling this. Like, I don't think it's big enough that...
Right, yeah, like...
They're just growing their own animals.
Like, literally living off the land. Oh, that house is raised, too. It's pretty high. Wow, look how high that is. And it's just on, what is... That's just so weird to be like, I hope the wind don't blow too hard.
Look at that. What is that?
It looks like it's gonna fall over.
You're in the trades. Do you think that's safe?
No.
On day 3 of my Hawaii island hopping adventure, I went to every single bad and run-down neighborhood on Oahu. All of them. Oahu's the largest island here, and it has the most extensive hoods in the state. It's the most accurate way to document Hawaii's most troubled areas. And for part of the way, I had my buddy Steve in the car with me. He knows the island very well. He's been on it for 15 years now. The goal? To show you the stuff that tourists don't see, and to give you some perspective on how regular people in Wonderland live. Way out in the middle of the ocean. How do they do it? What's it like? There's a lot to talk about. The cost of living is a big topic, and so are the drug problems and the crime. It's very interesting. Had to see it. And so do you.
That's so weird.
I wonder what the deal is with that. I wish we had an architecture history expert in the car with us who could...
Right.
Now I know you're probably like, well, that's the last thing I'd want to do if I went to Hawaii, Nick. I can see this shit where I live. But that's what makes me different. I did it for you, YouTube. Sacrificed a perfectly good day here to bring you the deets. To show you the porn. Just the way you guys like it.
Been back here.
You haven't been back here?
Not this road. Further up I have, and it's basically the same thing, but and plus I'm always driving, so I'm not really looking like I am now.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm on vacation.
I know. Cool. I brought you to, show me, and I'm showing you. So that was my buddy Steve and I. We were driving around some of the hoods on the outskirts of town in a very interesting part of Hawaii. We're on the northwest side of the island. They call it the Waianae coast. It's well known in Hawaii as where most of the poverty and crime is. Before I came, people told me, Nick, don't go down those long dirt roads back in those Waianae valleys. There's people back there you don't want to mess with. So we went back there. And you heard him. Steve's been here a long time, and he hasn't gone back here before. It was fine. Jeez, you people are drama. But a lot of this Google Street View had not gone down, so I didn't know what to expect.
Oh, really?
You can see from the satellite view. What's up with that? I see that a lot.
I was just thinking
round.
that style of house. That's like it's like a half barrel or something.
Like that's literally like built for just like a trailer-ish.
Or like a greenhouse or something back in the day, or yeah, it's got that.
It's got to be hot as hell in there.
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely.
And that's all. Look at all back there. Same thing. I've never seen anything really kind of like this, and you know, I mean, it feels like we're not in America.
Right.
You know, with the way it looks, with all the greenery and the structures like this does not feel, you know, what I'd picture something in South America, Central America, Mexico. I don't know, dude.
Vietnam.
Yeah.
It's weird. I live here and I don't feel like I'm in Hawaii.
Like, you don't feel like this feels like Hawaii on the street?
Not what I'm used to, yeah. This is...
Now, first of all, a Hawaii hood isn't anything compared to the hood that you're used to seeing on a YouTube video. Yeah, this area is poor, but it's not tragic here. It's not nearly as run down and dangerous as the ghettos I've seen on the mainland. That's because, well, it's the most expensive land in the USA. Homes here are worth a lot of money, so you don't see boarded up and run down in areas so much out here. And keep in mind, there isn't anything that you're going to see in this video that's worth less than $500,000, no matter how simple or poor it looks. If the house is rough, well, the land is worth a lot. That's just how it is here. It's causing all sorts of problems. They live pretty rough out here. Why is this side of the island poorer than the rest of it? Like, what is it about the western side?
It's mostly just local, like people that have been here their whole life.
Yeah.
And they just kind of stayed on this side, and they just kind of stay away from like the what would you call it, current world.
They're just content being out here. Now, the poverty rate on this side of the island is close to 20%. Families out here bring in about $55K a year. And that sounds like a real slice of middle America, huh? Well, not in Hawaii. That's considered poor here. And that's just sad. Here in Hawaii, the few have more, and the more have few. On Oahu, the average home's $1 million. You don't get a lot for that either. And rent's more than $2,000 a month now. Check this out. It's way higher here for rent than any other state, and it's almost 4 times higher than in North Dakota. That's just crazy. This cost of living thing is very frustrating for everybody here. There's a permanent, forever housing shortage and an affordability problem. Services are hard to come by for people who need it, so all the new show-uppers are draining the resources out here even more. There's just not a lot of homes for the working class. And the NIMBYs, the Nocals, the newcomers, they don't want more hoods in their backyard. So no more new construction. No wonder this is the 5th fastest shrinking state. Every day, 12 people leave Hawaii forever. I mean, I don't think so. There's posted no trespass. It looks like somebody lives in there. Do they have air conditioning? They have vents.
I don't think they do. Yeah, they got the vents on the top, but it's still got to be hot as hell in there.
way of life. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, you see that a lot too. See the cage on the back of his pickup?
Yeah, what is that for?
The dogs for hunting.
Oh.
You see that a lot, especially in Waianae.
Yeah.
A lot of pickup trucks have that because they got their hunting dogs and.
I mean, right at the base of the mountains where somebody used to live and they don't live anymore. You think anybody lives in there?
Maybe homeless, but definitely not resident.
So someone just decided they didn't want to live in paradise anymore and split?
Yeah. Oh, is that a door on the? Yeah. Okay.
How much do you think that's land is worth?
That land. If the whole land is where those trucks are and the big box trucks and over at minimum $1 million.
Because somebody could throw a fat ass house up right there.
Oh yeah, or we have like they did split. Like, why not sell it and collect all the money that you have?
We were coming up on the end of this road.
Enter by permission only.
I mean, how much do you think? What would you guess that house is worth? I know we're in Hawaii, but like, I mean, are we talking? What do you think?
That I don't even.
It's not really even a house.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. I've never been back here. Usually about $1 million because of the land. So the house itself is maybe $5,000. But, well, maybe more than that. I'm just throwing numbers out. But not throwing a number out, the land itself, something that size.
So these people are millionaires if they choose to sell out their land.
Basically. But they won't. They won't because they're true to their core. It's, this is their land. They're still pissed off that they became part of the United States.
Yeah.
I meet quite a few people that are like, born and raised here, and they still hold a big grudge. That guy's so
Look at that.
corrupt.
Like it's.
Oh wow, that's way up. I've seen them lift.
Why would
like
they
that.
put that way up? Way up like that?
That had to have been back because tsunamis, but we're so far away from the water right now.
Now, way out here in these canyons, you'll see trash everywhere. Stolen cars leaking their fluids all over the hillsides. Drainage ditches with homeless people in them. Parts of this area feel kind of like Mexico. Sure.
Oh, there's your chicken farm. Wow, look at all. You know what that is, right?
What? Cockfighting?
Yep.
Oh, it is. You're right.
I went to...
I saw it one time in Kentucky. I drove past one of those. I saw a lot of those on this adventure, actually. But after kind of driving around here for half a day, I was like, I don't think this looks like Hawaii to me. Or maybe it does. Hey, Mappy. Hey, let's play a game. I'm going to show you two pictures, and you're going to tell me which one's in Hawaii and which one isn't. Okay?
Okay. That one's in another country.
Nope.
That one's in another country.
They're both in Hawaii. They're actually both in the middle of Oahu, in places called Waipahu and Wahiawa. You ask anybody in Hawaii, where's some of the more run-down parts of Hawaii? And they'll say, well, it's Waipahu and Wahiawa. That's where. So we went there. Here's what they look like. Most of this is pretty poor. 2/3 of the community is Asian. There's a lot of poor Filipinos in here. Now, most of this was former sugarcane communities out this way. In the 1800s, when all the sugarcane was booming, this is where all the immigrants lived who worked the fields. Most were Japanese and Chinese. And they didn't pay them very well. $12 a month maybe, which is $400 a month in today's money. Well, they wound up shutting the sugarcane plants down in 1995 for good. And that's part of the reason this part of Hawaii is poor. We see that all over the country. Former important places that are no longer thriving, right? And look at that. Another cock farm. They love cockfighting here. Love it. This hood here, they got chickens everywhere, just like the rest of the island does. On one street, Kim wouldn't go one more inch unless she was sure the little baby chick was out of the way.
We're not going to squish him. I'm sure he will.
Oh, he's over there. You go over there.
Go on, get. Aloha gas, it's cheap. Kind of.
So right now we stopped off in Wahiawa. It's central Oahu. This is a part of the island that everyone says is pretty bad and run down. It is a little bit, but nothing compared to bad and run down that you're used to seeing YouTube. This is Hawaii. Land is valuable. There's no abandoned and crappy anywhere, but it is pretty poor up here. And it's the first time we've been rained on the trip, as you can see. In the early days, this part of Hawaii was actually considered the capital of Oahu by the Native Americans. All the rich people lived here, and they held a bunch of ceremonies here. And this part of Hawaii, it was actually attacked during Pearl Harbor. Yep, Japanese planes flew all the way this far inland, and they shot up a bunch of the sugarcane factories. Killed their own Japanese kin. It's messed up. What's here now is some of the only kind of affordable left on the island. But it's still not really affordable. There's houses in here with 15 people crammed into them. People just can't afford it.
Where's all the Escalades and Beamers? This is Hawaii.
Well, that's the point, Karen. These people can't afford that stuff because there really aren't a lot of high-paying jobs. And it's really expensive here.
I would help if I lived here. I could make all these people my nannies and housekeepers.
Well, nobody wants you moving here, woman. So right now I'm driving over to another bad area. It's called Kahili. It's a housing project because you guys like to see bad. I don't think it's going to be that bad because it's Honolulu and the property's too valuable, so it's not going to be as run down as some of the other hoods I've seen. But for Hawaii, it's bad. And as you can see, it's raining right now. It's my first day driving around and we got rain. That's how it is in tropical wonderland, right? Rain and traffic. One of the parts of the island with the worst reputation is a little Honolulu hood called Kalihi. So I went there. To be honest, it's actually not that bad. We're about 15 minutes from Waikiki. It's super poor here, and there's a lot of violence here. There's a lot of Filipino gangs in this neighborhood, supposedly. I don't think there's any scary gangbangers in Hawaii. I wouldn't say that to their face, though. But this is the part of town, if there's going to be an armed robbery at a gas station, or if a little Kamaina convenience store is going to get held up, it's probably going to be around here. There's a bunch of jerks in here. And crime-wise, Hawaii's getting worse. Fast. This used to be one of the lowest crime states. And then Hawaii was about average for crime. And now it's in the top third for worst. Most of it's just stabbings and property crime. It's not a very violent place. A lot of the drama here is because of poverty and drugs. Cars get stolen a lot. And of course, tourists, they're robbed every hour. There's a lot of drug use and meth production. There's puppy mills, prostitution, that kind of stuff. It's still pretty safe in regards to gun violence. There aren't shots being popped off every night. The gun laws in Hawaii, they're super strict. Hawaii doesn't recognize concealed carry permits from other states, and they make it super hard to get a permit to carry a gun here. Like 1 out of 500 applications to carry a gun is approved. So, less guns, less punks, less drama. But that said, they have a big problem here filling law enforcement positions. Just can't get enough cops here, even though they're offering $25,000 signing bonuses. It's the same thing we see in other states. Cops around America, they're underpaid, and they don't want to deal with the politics of law enforcement anymore. That's too bad. Well, the mayor here in Oahu, he created a big stir when he posted on social media, "Hey, why don't you guys do something about yourselves? Help the police. Take your community back." People were like, "You want us to patrol the streets? Seriously?" Anyways, this part of Honolulu has a bad reputation. It's pretty poor, but it doesn't look that bad to me. I think Hawaii's perspective is a little off. Although I know there's troubled areas, and to them there's a lot of crime and stuff going on, but man, this is nothing compared to some of the world's worst places. And I can't tell if Hawaii drivers are not good drivers or courteous, but there's a lot of people that just don't understand go around me. Well, this is one dead-end slum that I'm not worried about getting stuck in. So this building right here, that big giant monstrosity, that's the KPT, Kuyo Park Terrace. It's a public housing unit. And that place has a bad reputation right there. It's kind of in the middle of the Kahili neighborhood. And it was apparently really run down, and they put a lot of money and fixed it up so it's not so bad. Everybody knew about KPT all around the whole state. Public housing that's being fixed up and remodeled here in Hawaii. So that's a bright spot. Heard they renamed it too because it had such a bad reputation up there. This is the Major Right housing projects. It's famous here. There's almost 400 low-income units in there. Almost everybody I saw in there were down on their luck Asian folks. They've had a lot of drama in here because the city of Honolulu has decided that it's not cool to have just poor people in here. So they want to change it and make it so that, let's put rich people in here with the poor people. Mix it up. Integrate everyone. Well, I don't think that's gonna go over very well. I don't think the poor people want to hang out with the rich people. I'm pretty sure the rich people don't want to live here. The slums of Hawaii. It's actually not that bad in here. There's a lot of good people in here. Just trying to figure it all out right now. That's just how it is in Hawaii. I think the working class, they're all people in places like this. People with a job or many jobs still have to cram into these type of places because it's expensive everywhere. This is not what I expected. It's almost all poor Asians in here, mostly locals. Bunch of families sticking together, sticking it out. A lot of these people can't afford to leave the island. But when they do, you can bet they're off to Las Vegas. That's where all the Hawaii refugees go. Vegas. They gotta figure this out. The cost of living is just so hard on these folks. I don't think banning short-term rentals is gonna solve anything. They just need thousands of cheap houses here. But there's no cheap labor here and no land to build them on. And then down the road are the Cam 4 apartments. Everybody in town says the Cam 4 apartments are terrible. Well, they are not, at least anymore. They seem normal to me. And then one more hood in Honolulu that I had to check out. It's about 10 minutes from Waikiki. The place is called Molili. I heard it was bad. It is not that. At least comparatively. Looks like a normal place to me. Okay, right now we're coming up on supposedly where Barack Obama lived in Hawaii. Oh yeah, and guess what's in this hood? Obama's old house. Yep. And that high rise right there. You know he was born in Honolulu, right? Barack Obama lived in that high rise right there for a number of years while his mom went to the University of Hawaii. I think he was a child then. Anyway, he's from the hood.
Right next to a Buddhist temple.
Anybody can become anything. Doesn't matter where you come from.
But more family.
And there's a lot of people that live on Oahu that never come back here.
Oh yeah.
Like they don't even know what's back here.
I mean, even as far as my career being a plumber, anytime I get a call from someone on this side in Waianae or Makaha or Nanakuli, and I answer just from answering the phone. Wow, I've never seen that one. But just by answering the phone, they get excited, and I'm like, what? And they're like, and then once I tell them that I'll come out to do the work, they can't believe it. So
they can't believe you come out here and help them out?
Even plumbers don't come out to this side of the island or do work over here. And every time I've done work out here, every customer says the same thing. Like, it's so hard to get a plumber out this side. I don't understand it. I get a call from out here,
Most of Hawaii's hoods are pretty simple like. Thousands of people back on rural roads with the most random housing. It's all tucked way back away from the coast, and a part of the island just about nobody goes to unless they live here. A big part of the problem in this part of the island is the meth addiction. And this is all where Dog the Bounty Hunter spent a lot of time when he was in Hawaii looking for people. A lot of people here feel that the non-touristy parts of Hawaii like this, they're neglected in favor of making the parts that we see when we get off the plane nice. The rich people can get things fixed here, these people say. They make it all look good for the tourists, they fume. Meanwhile, out here in slumland, it's broken sidewalks and unpaved roads, not working street lights, trash, litter. Yeah, just a little mini market. Out here. Hi. I'm doing a little video. Can I interview you? Oh, just about the market. I think it's neat that you have like a little market out here. Oh, it's okay. Okay. Can I take a picture? I'm just a tourist. That's all. Oh, because it's like a little store. It's really cool. That little Japanese couple, they didn't understand why I thought their little hoodbilly country market was so neat. A lot of what we saw were farms out this way. I'm guessing that a lot of the people out here are scrapping out a living. But some of the plots of land, they're pretty big. I'll tell you what, you hear over and over from the people with Hawaiian blood, America stole our land and ruined it. Well, that's kind of true and kind of true. But you can make the argument that, well, you guys are screwing up your own land too. I mean, look at it. And if we hadn't conquered Hawaii, some other nation would have come in here and taken this all over. Russia, Japan, Britain, China. Lucky they're not speaking Chinese right now. Or if this place were lucky enough to not get colonized, I think a lot of this would still be third world jungle land. The whole Americanized history here. That's why a lot of Native Hawaiians don't like white boys like me. They call us haoles. In the 1960s, they had to kill a haole day on Hawaii. No shit. Today, it's not so bad. A lot of people that flipped me off or looked at me funny, like, get out of here, white boy, whatever. Kind of racist, but kind of underground racist. Whatever. There's a lot of tension on these islands. The rich versus the poor tension. Tension between the locals and the military. Between the locals and the tourists. The unhoused locals versus the new LA bums. A lot of tension here. We're kind of raised to hate tourists, a local told the BBC one time. I think all the locals feel that way, actually. So they basically just went up the beach.
Yeah, they just went up half a mile up the road. That's all homeless right there.
And do you think these people have been here for, like, I mean, look at some of these structures.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And as a bonus, Steve and I even went down to the beach to check out the beach hoods. I heard that most of the western shore of Oahu is rough. Well, most of it's just homeless people now. Somebody told me that anything on this side of the island gets tribal. There's surf gangs up here that'll fight you in the water if you're not a local and you drop into their wave. And then they'll follow you into the sand and they'll beat you up. Snap your surfboard across their knee, right in front of your girl and everything. I heard there's a real gang mafia thing going on here with Hawaiian mob type shit. People getting chopped up and thrown out in the ocean. It doesn't seem like that anymore, though.
Do you think this will all be developed one day? Like, do you think some developers are going to buy this up and this is all going to be fancy neighborhoods? I mean, is that possible?
Absolutely.
So Waianae might be like fancy one day.
Yep, here, Waianae, and on the North Shore, Like if you go on the North Shore, you see it a lot, but they have signs. I can't think of what they say now, but like no more building, no more, and because that's exactly what they're doing. They're like already in the process of trying to buy all this.
So someone's going to get their hands on this eventually, and this is all going to be exclusive property, $2-3 million a lot.
Yep.
So this is eventually going to turn into that.
Yeah.
Suburb land with cul-de-sacs and sidewalks and
exactly.
SUVs in the driveway and a Starbucks.
I mean, if they
downstream.
stand their ground, it won't. Because I know on the North Shore they've been trying to do it for 10 years. And
look at that.
They haven't done it yet. So everyone on the North Shore is really holding their ground.
Like that.
That's a huge, like, if that was fixed up, that's like a huge house, right?
I know. It's just, I think people live in there. Yeah, the door's open. Just someone just let it go, and they could be wealthy, and they just don't. Some people just don't care. They just live. They just live the way they want to live, and fuck it. Like I'm comfortable. I don't care. I don't need to prove anything.
You're just so used to it. You're just so used to it that it's no different than anything else.
Well, maybe we're documenting the Hawaii's past, the last holdouts before the. Look at that burn down.
Oh yeah.
I think we're looking at the last holdouts on the island here. What do you think? I don't know. I'm assuming.
Yeah, I'm hoping they
don't ever sell out.
Yeah, I'm hoping they hold it down like they did, like they're doing on the North Shore.
Well, we picked the right road. This is the most interesting thing I think I've seen in a while, and this is only the third day I've been on this island. I think I just happened to drop the pin on the right street. Sometimes you get lucky, Steve. Sometimes you drive around for 2 hours and you can't find anything worth filming, and you know, anything interesting or unique that people would want to see.
And the cool part is, this is new. Neither one of us has ever seen this before.
Oh, wait, it says I can't go. All right, this was where I was going to go. I think we're at the end here. All right, I'm going to turn around and. What'd you say?
I said the cool part is that neither one of us has seen any of this.
No.
I've never been down this road either.
Yeah, I know. I thought you were going to be like, yeah, you know, this is what it's like back here. So yeah, I mean, most of the time when I go into like bad areas, it's like the people are content with being there. Like they don't, especially like down the deep south.
Right.
They don't care about money. They don't care about keeping up. That's just families around.
Right, yeah, exactly.
They're comfortable, leave me alone, I want to live like this. And, you know, we go through, we're like, oh my God, how do they do it? But that's just how they want to be. You know, they're not messing with anybody.
So that's Hawaii's poorest and most dangerous neighborhoods for you. Yeah, it might look a little rough, but it's not scary or anything. Most of the people in these neighborhoods are some of the nicest on the island, as long as you're respectful back. And I hear these neighborhoods are very tight-knit. Well, you don't have a lot of that in America anymore, do you? Ohana means family here, and family means nobody gets left behind. There's little more than these people value than their families. I don't think they care much at all what this looks like. I think they're all just trying to get by. Together.
It just about says it all right there with the beautiful background.
No, yeah.
I mean, you can't complain about life when you have that. You know?
Are you looking to move and need advice? I do consulting. That's right. I'll sit down and talk about where the next perfect place for you and your family should be. I do it all the time. Together, let's find you a new home that's safe and checks all your boxes. And I can also help you find your new house, too. Email me and I'll work with you on not just helping you figure out where to move, but I can help you find your perfect home, too. That's right. I know awesome, reliable agents all over the country, and I'd love to connect you to somebody who can help you search for that perfect home. And I'm on Cameo, too. If you want me to send you or somebody you know a personalized video message, go to Cameo and search Nick Johnson YouTube. It's fun. Hey guys, if you learned something new about America or what it's like to live in America, great. You should think about subscribing and turning on your notifications. You can also click one of these videos or playlists for more.
Hey YouTube world, I'm Sage, Nick's manager. You've enjoyed a Corner House Entertainment production, so watch another one.